Thanks for joining me in today's video, and I want to share with you the top 8 stocks to watch out for a possible breakout in 2022. All right, let's kick things off, but before we do, keep in mind none of these are recommendations to buy, sell, or trade any stocks. You got to understand your own risks. All right, so let's get things started with the first one, and we're going to talk a little bit about Amazon. I mean, they make a ton of money from selling products. Other people are selling products on Amazon from their Prime Video, and of course, a lot of the revenue from Statista is mentions that they're coming out with over 25 billion here for just subscription services and the AWS category from servers and that kind of thing. So they're doing a lot of revenue and money making. So as I take a look at this stuff and we're checking out Amazon, and by the way, if you want to get a full list, here's the list of stocks we'll be talking about. If you want to just skip right ahead and do your own analysis, that's cool. So looking at Amazon, what I want to look at is really we're going into a lot of the monthly patterns and the weekly patterns. So if you check out this weekly pattern, you basically have this sideways consolidation pattern that's been going sideways, and you've got a kind of a double top here created. Okay, so as far as the money flow, a lot of the money has just been sitting idle here for a little while. It's kind of building. So the question is are we going to pop and explode to the upside? And because the stock is just so strong, the company's strong, it's quite possible people will still get in it. I am wondering if it will split eventually. That is the question, right? But overall, this stock's been building cause, and usually when it builds cause, it can explode higher. So keep an eye out on that. Okay, let's take a look at number 2 here that I have, and this is Activision Blizzard. If you've never heard of them, they've got World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Diablo, Candy Crush, and some other cool stuff like that. And the thing about this stock is ATVI. When you look at it, it's been selling off, but with a lot of the gaming stuff, it's been kind of boosting due to pandemic and all that. Now, the reasons, again, doesn't even matter. And why does it not matter? It's because it's really a matter of trading people's perception. And people perceive, especially long-term investors, they perceive that, hey, this stock could go up because of, and the reason here could be because of more people are going to be gaming. Now, does it really matter what the reason is? No, there could be hundreds and millions of other reasons. I could be buying this for my kids' trust fund. I could be buying this for other things. But the point is that this stock has pulled back quite a bit. So if I look at it from a weekly perspective, you can see we've had this rollover effect. Here's the rollover, and then it bounces. So what you're really looking at is right around that $45. It's been kind of looking for a nice solid base. And again, if we kind of look at this, it's sold off. And if we're going to start rounding here soon around the 50, that could be one prime for a possible break later on. So if you check out the monthly and just looking at how this stock price could move and behave, you're kind of looking at this trend line right here, just the channel, the way that it's working and behaving. It's been behaving, kind of there's your line. There it is. So now it's possible it could start breaking out. Again, not super technical here, but I'm saying it could be oversold here shortly. And it's one to watch for a possible breakout. I'm not saying that there's a trigger to pull the trigger to get in it. Those could be other things, other reasons of when to pull the trigger for your reasoning, for your money management, for your style. But this one is one that's a little oversold. Okay, let's take a look at the next one, and that is Boeing. I know a lot of people don't like airlines right now, but if you really take a look at just where Boeing is making its money, it's not just from flights, right? This one is defense, space, and security. So if we pull up the chart here and you take a look at Boeing, what I want you to pay attention to really in Boeing is recently in 2014 to 2017. So if you look at that time frame, this stock was exploding, okay, right? A to B, B to C, which was sideways, and C to D. So we had this nice move to the upside, and it looked pretty good. And then all of a sudden we had the sideways move, and boom, it just tanked. And now a lot of these airlines are just not doing fantastic. But I'm saying if one has a shot, rather than getting kind of like some of the other domestic airlines or international airlines or that kind of thing, you might be better off with something like this because it's got a lot of stuff within defense. So people might think it's a safer bet. And this is why if this is actually going to start turning around, it could be maybe in this next year. I'm not saying it will happen. There's still a lot of negative pressure and energy, but it's one to kind of take a look at and say, hey, maybe I want to take a shot. Maybe I don't. Okay, so let's take a look at another one here, and that is Caterpillar. Same thing. If we just look at just the overall past growth, here, this is 2020 to 2021. It's been doing really well, and then now it's kind of been lagging a little bit just recently from in 2021. So we've kind of had some problems, right? 2020 to 2021, explosive year, and then 21 I mean, boom, well, what the heck's happening, right? So it's kind of pausing. And if you look at just 150 as being a nice buying opportunity, this one, you know, once it gets its head together, it could be one for a possible pop. So again, checking that out. We've also got Disney, the same thing. If you look at the monthly chart, this thing's been, look at this grind to the upside from 2009 to 2015 or 2015. Then we had some sideways action for a couple of years, like not doing anything, and then it started to move and it just rolled over, right? A lot of the other streaming services are starting to dominate. So as you really look at the more recent trend, you're kind of getting into another possible level at about 150 where it's support. And look at this, this year from 2020 to 2021, you know, when you're really looking at it, you've had like a nasty drop down, but then towards the end it started to break out, and then it just pulled back. So it's like, okay, well, is this a short-term pullback? Could it just pop real quick soon? Yeah, it's possible. So in this 2021 year, right here, again, we're just kind of hovering above that next level. So we've got kind of like two ranges. And now again, can we snap up? It's kind of like it's primed for it. Even maybe if we just get back into the 200, that's from 150 to 200. That could be a nice move. And percentage-wise, as you look at that, could be about 35%. Because when you look at from where we are from the highs to where we are at now, you sold off about 24%. So that's quite a bit. All right, Facebook is another one. It's just been going idle. Again, the stock's been, look at it, the chart from a long-term perspective. I mean, you've kind of been going on this crazy train ride right here, right? So when you look at it, it's there, and it's kind of at the lows at this support line. So look at these support levels. It's doing fairly well. It has that potential to get into those higher levels. On the more recent part, yeah, it's been acting fairly weak. So we've been going down, a little up, back down, retesting this level once, twice, and now we're coming back into this zone kind of in no man's land. So this is kind of where a lot of this trading activity is like, what the heck is going on? So you want to watch this 350 is kind of the big issue in this stock. And then you got the 310 as well. So this is kind of your sideways pattern. And what you're waiting for is really a breakout. That's a safety net. Down here is more an aggressive play on the bounce. If you're kind of looking at around 310, 350 is more of a safer bet. But the stock has a good long-term possible potential. So if it bounces, this could be in this next year coming up. Okay, another one, pretty heavy sell-off again, taking a big hit. But if you look at PayPal, just 2016, 2020, I mean, this stock's been grinding, exploded, and again, it's super grinded. 300 is where it got into and then just rolled over. So if it can get back, you know, it's been pulling back quite a bit. If it can get back into, you know, about that 120 level, right there, 120, that'd be fantastic, but it may not get there. So watch this one for when it starts to roll over, and when it kind of rolls over back to the upside, this is when a stock like this can snap, because it's been trending higher. It's just right now we got really toppy, we got ahead of itself, and yeah, we got a lot of selling pressure. So all the people in the past here are probably taking profits. You got a lot of people down there with a boatload of profits. So after this pullback, if you look at just the overall trend, I mean, this trend from a monthly perspective, you're looking at it, it's still kind of to that, in that channel, in that range. You're kind of in that upside quadrant or area. It's just recently it looks kind of nasty, right? But if you look at a month to month and long-term perspective, and if you look at the weekly, yeah, it looks pretty bad. But from a longer term, it could look real good, right? From depending on your investment horizon. So that's why I look at it, could bop. Walmart, it's kind of a stealth one that I'm watching. Again, just look at this chart. I mean, boom, boom, sideways, boom, look at this, and then explosive run. So if we look at just the more weekly time horizon, I'll just delete all the drawings here for you guys. One thing I'm watching on this one, again, this is the weekly. Here's the overhead, 150 is the problem. You've got support around 130, and this is between 2020, 2021, and then the next year, 2021, 2022. So now as we get into 2022, what am I watching? I'm watching this level, 150. If that 150 breaks, that's a nice bet and play right there. If it comes down to, again, this level, this could be a nice level to play on the bounce. And look, it's already trying to bounce. So as you're looking at this 135, this is a good kind of start adding to the position, because it's kind of oversold, right? A to B, B to C pattern right there, A, B, C, D. So there you go. Okay, so those are kind of the plays I've been taking a look at and some things you may want to check out. Of course, there's many more plays out there that you could really do and check out. It's just my own personal take and insight right there. And remember, just because these stocks could be oversold or have some potentials, or they could be looking to a pop, doesn't mean they are going to pop. It just means, hey, these are some things that you could keep an eye on as you look into the next year and look at some signals there, and always listen to your own triggers of when to get into the stock, because everybody's investment horizon, risk tolerance, risk levels, and style is different. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.